Good morning, everyone. We are live from 1950 South Shepherd for Women's Wednesday. Um, just gonna make sure that
I'm gonna make sure too.
that you guys can hear us okay. If we have any viewers, want to let us know. For us women, it's our first week doing the whole setup and everything ourselves. So yeah, but you guys know me.
You know what it is?
What is it?
Did you put oh, it is on. Okay.
Mixed cast.
Yeah, okay. I see it now. Never mind. What the heck? Why is it not showing?
You are live on YouTube and
Oh
no.
Facebook. Okay, that's why. I was like, wait a minute, because I didn't see it on Facebook. I was like, wait a minute, hold on.
Do we need to say good morning all over again?
Let me see.
And then it's not popping up like
Oh my gosh. So can they hear us?
yeah, we're live. We are live. There it is. All right. Good morning.
All right, cool.
Good morning. Good morning. We're just experiencing some technical difficulties this morning, but that's okay because we're not perfect.
Okay. All right, we're good.
We are good. Okay, you guys know me. I'm Tatum, the newest member to the tour team, and I have asked my friend Tara. I almost called you Tara.
Okay, everybody does.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Farah Lynn Charlie.
I'm happy to have you here today. That first, meeting whenever I heard you speak, the way that you just have a way with words and the way that you share your strength and your experiences was I enjoyed it. I connected with you. I feel like hearing you speak, and so that's why I asked you to be on today. And I just admire you. So yeah. Let's see. Well, first, how is everyone feeling this morning? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. It was a rough drive in from Oklahoma City area. I hope you guys wear your seatbelts, take your precautions, and don't speed. I did like 40 or 50 on the way over. It was pretty rough.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see any wrecks or nothing, so it was good.
That's good. Yeah, it's always scary driving in the rain. You just don't know when you're going to hit a slick spot or, you know what I mean, the traffic. And so, yeah, be safe out there, everyone, today. Good morning, Charlene. Glad you could tune in with us. Oh my gosh, we forgot to say Nyake.
Pivawana.
Vivavona.
Kikarus. I can never say that one.
We're just like learning these. Alito.
Alito. CO.
Is that CO or OCO?
Well, he says to say it CO.
CO.
Mm-hmm.
This one's yours. Yep.
Gwina.
Gwina.
Gunamante. Yatehe.
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 Cindy says, this is amazing.
Hi, Cindy.
So yeah, we are going to hop into this meditation, and then I want you guys to hear a little bit of Farah's experience, strength, and hope this morning. Hopefully some of you guys can, connect and relate, and she just has a beautiful story. So our daughters are the same age, and
2018.
Yeah. Well, Josie was born at the very beginning of 2019, but whenever she saw your daughter walk in with those earrings, her hoops on,
Yeah.
she said, "Mom, look at her earrings!" Like she wants them. I've been telling her that she can get her ears pierced, but she's scared.
Well, I'm gonna tell you a funny story about those earrings. They're really mine. So when she realized she has earrings, her ears are pierced.
Mm-hmm.
My brother told me this story. He said, when you get your kids' ears pierced, it means that they're at that age where they're supposed to listen. They learn to listen
Mm.
after getting their ears pierced. And I would tell her that all the time. But she's seen those hoop earrings and she was like, Mom, can I wear those to school? And I had her in like sweats and a regular t-shirt and I was like, sure. She put them on, went to
Mhm.
school. I picked her up from daycare and she said, Mom, you want to know what my classmates said to me today about my earrings? And I said, what? She said, they told me that I look like a Roblox character. And I
Oh.
was like, oh, okay. Cause like, the kids are into Roblox and stuff. And it made me feel joy that she found joy in her accessories.
Yeah.
So she's finding her own little style. You parents out there, I just encourage you to listen to your kids and let them be little free spirits because, they don't have things all figured out. And me being a supportive mom looks like letting my child pick her earrings and telling her she looks great. She
Mhm.
looks fabulous. She's going to be great today, no matter what she's wearing or what she looks like.
That's right.
So she's
Good.
really in depth with her little style right now. She's real big into Roblox, so she thinks she has to look like the characters. I'm like,
I like
okay,
that.
I'm all for it.
I think letting kids express themselves is just beautiful, and that we're aware of how that like makes them feel and affects them.
Mm-hmm.
I like talking. Women's Wednesday, we do get into some, parenting, some mom stuff, and being a mom in recovery takes so much strength. I mean, being in recovery anyways takes strength, but being a mom and understanding that you have to do this, you have to do this sobriety thing for you first, but also for your kid.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can try to get sober for your kid or your man, or whoever, but really it's got to be you first, then your child,
Yeah.
so that you can be who they need. That's what I've learned in my recovery, and so it's cool to have other moms in recovery, and just to support one another and uplift each other in this walk. So all right, let's see, the date today is April 30th, 29th.
April 30th.
April 30th.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and read this meditation for us, and then we're gonna get into it. Modern civilization has no understanding of sacred matter. Everything is backwards. Thomas Yellowtail Crow. Modern civilization says, don't pray in school, don't pray at work, only go to church on Sunday. If you don't believe what I believe, you'll go to hell. Deviancy is normal. Our role models cheat, drink, and run around. These are the people in the news. The news sells bad news. No one wants to hear good news. Kids are killing kids. Victims have little protection. Violence is normal. Leaders cheat and lie. Everything is backwards. We need to pray for spiritual intervention. We need to have guidance from the Creator to help us rebuild our families, our communities, and ourselves. Today, I will pray for spiritual intervention from the Great Spirit. Today, I intend to focus on Grandfather, we pray for your help in a pitiful way. That was a deep meditation right there. Like, they don't always go that deep.
Yeah.
Um, what I got from that is truly just how harsh our world has become today,
Mm-hmm.
and how far away we've gotten from more peaceful times. Like, I always say, I wish I was alive back before like phones existed, just how peaceful that was, and maybe it was, I'm sure it wasn't all peaches and cream all the time, but I don't know, just going back to a different time and going back to our roots, and yeah, I always say the world is hard. If you can help someone, help them. If you can be kind, be kind. You know what I mean? Just don't make it harder for people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was, I wasn't ready for that. I Normally I get into, like, I'll read the meditation before I even get here, but I didn't do that this morning. And so do you want to share on that a little bit?
Yeah, I feel like this meditation this morning speaks to me, and it looks like breaking generational curses.
Mm,
I spoke on breaking generational curses last year, September, at our fundraising event for my sober living, and they actually hand selected me, and I wrote
wow.
out a prayer. I should have brought it, honestly. It was one of them prayers and things that you didn't have to think about. When the creator speaks to you and when it's definitely a God thing, it just comes naturally. And I did get nervous. I guess I got stage fright up on the front, but it really was me being vulnerable.
Hmm.
Um, so I read through my prayer, I got it set out, and it spoke about generational curses being broken and what that looked like. And what that looks like for me is me. I'm what generational curses being broken looks like.
Wow.
Um, I went back, I got my education. It may have just been my diploma, but it was a very big, huge thing in my life that I put on the back burner when I was still a child. Um, I didn't get the perks of graduating with my twin. You know, in my addiction and in my life, I never thought about the people who I hurt, or that I was reliving the reoccurring problems and issues that we deal with every day. Um, and for me to be able to pick myself back up and start back from ground zero, it was hard. Like, I wanted to cry about it all the time, but back where I'm from, you just don't really show emotion. And I'm not saying it was strict or anything. It's just vulnerability was completely out the window.
Hmm.
There was just no talk about how you felt about things. It was just you do as I do, and you get by and you don't complain, you know? So when I came into AA and when I came into this whole world that I never even knew about, it's a larger community than myself. I can't even believe like how many people reach out and actually help each other day to day. I never really put thought to that, and I really never thought that my voice mattered. I didn't ever feel like I was heard. I mean, my family, they're great. They support me. They're there. They always build me up every time I fell down. And they've seen me at my worst and they've seen me at my best. And I am just very grateful that the creator chose me to be that light of what breaking these generational chains look like, because it's not going to happen overnight.
Hmm.
It definitely takes all of us, and it takes a lot of prayer, meditation, and us remembering that the creator is there for a reason to help guide us. And it's all up to us and our choices to be able to pray about it, be able to say when we're wrong. And I'm just very grateful that I get to be a part of that movement today.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
See, I knew what I was doing bringing you on here. Like, that was so beautifully said. Like,
Thank you.
you are definitely gonna be, like, you're gonna go far in this thing, if you keep walking the road that you're walking. Like, I love it. I love the energy. I have a question based on, like, kind of what you were talking about, breaking generational curses, because I was like the first person in my family to, like, admit defeat, admit that I couldn't quit drinking, like we all were, you know what I mean, and go to treatment. And so doing that was something that I did for myself because I was given the gift of desperation. But when I got back, I had a lot of resentment towards my family because, like, why did it have to be me? Why did it have to be us that finally decided, something else has got to happen? Like, we got to break this thing, So, did you ever feel that? Did you ever feel like resentment towards your family for?
No. I felt like it had to be said and it had to be done because I went to a lot of funerals. A lot of my aunts and my uncles,
Mhm.
they're no longer with us. So this last funeral I went to was my cousin's father's funeral. And one of my cousins said something, I think it was like in our chat on Facebook. And she said, "Hey, it's our turn to step up and be the ones to organize the family functions." And we laughed and we joked about it, and I was sitting there like, yeah, I'm gonna be that auntie sitting there with the clipboard, so you guys better, you better behave and better be on cue.
Mhm.
I'm all for volleyball, so like
Yeah.
I was like, we can set up the volleyball nets, we can get it all going, and it's just taking that initiative of actually being there and making it count, because it's not that person or that person looking at you, it's your children.
Mhm.
And what your children see, they learn. It's learned behavior. So I'm just trying my best to be the best that I can all the way around. And if me being a mom and being committed to certain things like that, little things, I can do it.
Yeah.
And with that, I've never felt no kind of way when family, even if they did like disagree with anything, like I knew they were telling me that for a reason. Maybe it was something I needed to hear, or maybe it's something I'm lacking in. But I'm all for it. Destructive criticism, if you will.
Mhm. That's good. You have a more positive outlook. Like, I guess I just had a lot of hurt in the beginning because I was just drinking with my family, like with my mom, with my grandma, you know what I mean? And so I had a lot of hurt. Like, if I'm willing to do better for my daughter, like, why was I the daughter that, like, I wasn't enough for you to do better? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But all in all, it is a blessing because my recovery has worked through my family now, and I get to be that light and that hope for them that they can be different if they want to.
Mm-hmm.
And you can never force someone to try this thing out. You can only just keep walking your walk and hope that someone. I say, like, it's attractive to, like, see someone in recovery that's happy, that's happy, joyous, and free. You know what I mean? Like, we can laugh, we can I don't know, you could probably see it in my eyes whenever I wasn't freed from myself yet,
Yeah.
you know? Have you heard that term, like, dead eyes? Like, when you're in your addiction,
No.
I can look back on pictures of myself
Yeah.
and see it. And then I go into AA, and people are telling me, like, "Oh, I see the light coming back on in your eyes." And I'm like, I don't know, you just don't see it until you feel it, inside, an inside feeling. But good morning, everyone. Good morning, Cece. Good morning, James.
Good morning, Cecilia.
Cecilia,
I
yeah.
remember Cecilia. Hi.
Good morning, Randy and Shannon. Yeah. I knew we would get flowing, just talking about recovery is like something I live for. I don't know if you're given the gift of recovery, just even a little taste of it, it's like you just can't get enough of it. Good morning, youngsters.
Wrong.
I'm not that young. I'm up there. No, I'm just kidding.
I
But
asked Barry how old you were.
I don't think he knows how old I am. Does he?
He said like in your 30s.
Yeah. Me and my twin, we turned 35 this year, so
Wow.
it's huge. Like, I know I don't look young, but people are always like, younger people I work with think that I'm like their age, and I'm like, no. Probably like your aunt or something.
Yeah, because I just thought, I mean, I'm 26, and so I just assumed you were my age.
Yeah.
Wow,
1990.
cool.
So you have a twin.
Yes. Sarah. Shouts out to Sarah. Sarah Charlie. She works at the new casino out there in Gary off
Really?
of I-40.
Oh yeah, that travel center or something.
Yeah, I think they're still getting things going, but shouts out to her. She works the morning shift, so she's out there in this rain at like 6 o'clock in the morning. She hit a deer the other morning, so you guys be careful driving. I don't really know when deer season is, but caused some damage to her car.
Them things
Wow.
jump out everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's always hitting deers.
Yeah, and I have a brother. We have one brother. His name is Nate. He works for the tribe. He's over in that building though, out in Concho. I think he's at GON this weekend.
Okay.
I don't get to see my family often, you guys. So even though I'm close, it's I live in a structured environment at my sober living. So it's if I'm out at an event and you see me, please say hello because that might be the only time I get to be out and about and visiting with family and relatives. And I cherish the moments, you know, in my addiction. I did not. It was never hey, I didn't want to see you or nothing. It was just I was messed up. I was drunk. I didn't want anyone to have to see me in that state of mind. So now when I'm out and about, I'm going to be talkative and floating around like a social butterfly, saying hi, shaking hands. I'm a hugger. I mean, sometimes I don't like being hugged, but sometimes, you know, if you see my arms open, I'm willing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try to teach my little one. Well, I talk to all my kids. I try to teach them to be like active with people and relatives and stuff, but I don't try to force it on them.
Mm-hmm.
But I do try to get my little one in the habit of shaking hands, and sometimes she will, and sometimes she won't. You know, it's a work in progress. So, yeah, I try to let her see me doing that so that she knows, you know, what to do and she don't get shy.
Mm-hmm. Definitely like a work in progress, getting them to get out of their shell, you know. And what when we were talking before we started, you said like whenever, you know, you and your daughter started living together again, like you couldn't get away from her without her freaking out. I went through that with my daughter too, like after getting sober, and we played Marco Polo. So if I had to go down the hall and like it got to be stressful for me, you know, like because she's right there. I turn around and I'm running into her because she's right there, you know, and so I'd be like, how I built her trust back was not only talking to her and keeping my word. Like if I say I'm going to pick you up from school at this time, that's when I'll be there, you know. But yeah, we played Marco Polo, and so that was kind of like our cute little thing, like our little healing way, you know. And I'd be like, all right, I'm going to go do the dishes, so I'll be in here, and I'd just say Marco, and she'd be like Polo. And I don't know, that's just I just had to research, you know what I mean? Because I just now got myself into therapy, and I'm gonna be working on getting her into therapy too.
Yeah.
But I just had to research little ways to allow her to trust me, how I can be better, things I can like say and do, you know, questions to ask. It's so crazy because our kids, no matter what, they just feel safe when they're with us, you know,
Yes.
like no matter what, like headspace we're in or mental state or anything, like just as long as they're with us, they're safe. And so that's special.
Yeah, with that, you know, those were hard obstacles that nobody ever taught me about. As a kid, I went through childcare, like the foster childcare, and them intervening in our lives. And my mom and dad, they did come back for us, but back then they were more of like action. Nobody really set me down and told me like this would affect me 20 years down the road in my active addiction. Nobody talked to me about addiction either growing up. But now I'm in this structured environment with my sober living. They literally give us classes, mandatory ones on Mondays and Thursdays that help us parent and that also counsel us. And we get placed in these classes. I think one is relapse prevention, but another one is a parenting class, just let alone by itself. And they taught me a lot about interacting with my child, um, just from the trauma and hardships that she's been through. And need I mind you, my youngest, she's 6 years old, but I deal with it too with my 13-year-old and my 14-year-old. Not on a bad note. It's just, how can I be a better mother, a better listener, and how can I speak to the creator to help me find these things to be there for them? I don't know how everyone else felt in their addiction, but I always felt alone. I kind of drifted off from my faith. It was still there long enough for me to hold on and pull back through, come back to the light, and regain conscious. But in my head, I was like, wow, if I'm going through these things and I'm a grown woman, been there, seen it. Could you imagine what our kids are going through? Could you imagine their feelings of new life? That you hear all this stuff on news about everything changing around us. How are we going to prepare our children? Are we going to be able to be strong with the creator and talk about these things with him? Are we going to be able to ask for, wisdom, strength, and guidance from our creator every day to help mold our children through this? I always hear it from my twin all the time because, we don't know what our children are going to be growing up into. And I just want them to always know that they're loved and that they can talk to me when it comes to things like addiction and suicide and things that we don't normally talk about. And if they want to get closer with their creator, I would be more than happy to assist them. But one thing I'm not going to do is force them to do anything they don't want to do, or force them to talk about their feelings or things that they don't want to talk about. I want to make them feel loved, and I want to keep their trust and just be there in the best way that I can.
Just like keep the door open, always. I like that. Josie came to me and she said, Mom, my friend told me not to tell you about this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. And I was like, thank you. You can tell me anything, absolutely anything, even if someone says, don't tell your mom, so I didn't, that hurt me that someone, one of her little friends told her that, but I'm glad that she came to me anyways, and we have that little bond, that trust.
Yeah.
It's hard in addiction because of like the selfishness, you know what I mean? That addiction, that we go through. Just remember always putting me first and never her. And so now I get to put her first every day and show her how to put God first too, and it's great.
Hey, Rossi, I'm proud of you too. Love you.
That's okay. You can set it.
Sorry.
Set up there if you want.
I'm learning. I'm learning how to communicate. I think the first time when we met, I spoke about being uncultured. I mean, it's not a full lie, but I don't know enough that I should. I would love to learn my language. My little one, she's always telling me, Mom, I know Spanish. I know Chinese. And I'm like, oh, really? Well, tell me, speak it to me. So I'll let her, ramble on. But I'm thinking in my head, how can I be more active and get her into those things? Because I just told you guys yesterday, she shocked me. I didn't know my little one could play the violin. So, you parents, you aunties, you uncles, that shows how much me as a mom pays attention. I mean, I get so wrapped around my routine and my schedule that I forget to notice the little things, And she did ask me for a violin like a month ago, and I was like, why? You don't even play. And then the teacher invites me to her recital yesterday, and I'm like, with my mouth open, like, wow, she can really play. And that's just the little things that our children are capable of. And they're just like so amazing. I just took that with a grain of salt. Like, I am very grateful that the creator gave me this moment with my child and that I get to share it with all of you, because that was just like, an eye opener of the perks that I get to get now with my life today,
Yeah.
because I'm sober and I'm in there. If you invite me, I'm gonna make make it a point to be there
Mm-hmm.
because it matters to me today. You know how I make people feel and how people feel, and what kind of image I'm trying to remake for myself. And it's tough sometimes. You know, I got to pray about a lot of things. Pray to be able to get up and have the strength to make it through on the hard days. Um, this rain don't help much.
I know.
It's good, but it's, you know, I got like a little leak in my car, so it like drips in, and I'm like, oh, I have to drive in my wet car. But at least I have a car, you know, I gotta be grateful.
Yeah. All the blessings, no matter how big or small, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I know in my, like, normally I'm like, a rainy day, like, just want to stay in bed. I just want to, like it's almost, it can be a little depressing at times, but with my prayers this morning, I just wanted to thank the Creator for nourishing our earth with this rain and see it in a more positive light. We have shelter in our little office, so we get to be nice and dry and warm, and yeah.
Yeah.
The sound of the rain is very peaceful, though. I do enjoy that.
Me too.
Good morning, Andrea. Nebraska, 5 years of sobriety. That is awesome. It's amazing.
Thank you, Phyllis.
I look forward to that.
You gave me joy too. Like I said, it was like music to my ears, you know. Um, yeah, the rain is so good to hear. I listened to it all night too, going to sleep, and I was thinking, I was trying not to get nervous because I'm not really like, I know this ain't TV, but like I was just thinking, I didn't want to get nervous or nothing. So I was just laying there like with my eyes closed and praying about it. And I wanted to call somebody, like a family member, my sponsor or someone, but I was like, no, it's too late. I better just pray about it and go to bed. Cause I do this thing where like I get real anxious, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I got to jump up and rehearse some stuff. And I'm just like, no, I'm just going to go and be me and be myself. Cause what better way to be, you know?
Yeah. Like that's what I always say in doing, and going live and stuff and just every day that I can only wake up and be unapologetically myself.
Mm-hmm.
And there's going to be people that don't like that and don't appreciate that, and that's okay because of the self-worth that I have today. I don't have to let that affect me, and I just keep moving in a positive way and moving in love. I try to always move in love, and that's all we can do.
Yeah. Yep.
Play in the rain, give gratitude for the rain. Yes. We should go play in the rain later on our lunch break.
I'm gonna have to run in it back to work. So gotta go clock back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I come from the Oklahoma City area, so I'm one of those natives that came from a really, really small community. So I don't know. In my life, I never thought I was gonna venture too far from Gary, Oklahoma, but you know, God had other plans for me, and He took me not too far from home, but far enough to where I did feel foreign. Um, I had to learn my way around. I had to learn how to get to and from and how long things take for me to get home and to work and my kids' daycare and school. It was just a lot, you know, and I'm just really glad I figured it out and I have a routine and a schedule that I keep now.
Mhm.
And again, like I said, it's just been a blessing, you know. Being able to get out of my comfort zone and move from my hometown and being able to see my worth and pick myself back up. Uh, I have a sobriety date of 11/15/2022. That's how long I've been on the red road. And I'm going to get into that a little bit. I was introduced to Wellbriety the year of 2023 when I was on my red road into recovery, I knew I wanted to be sober. I knew I had potential. The light was kind of coming back into my eyes and my life. After I burned every bridge in my life with everyone, I felt like, how am I going to restart over? Who's going to want to talk to me? Who's going to want to deal with me? Nobody, because I didn't even want to deal with me. I couldn't even like sit there and have a decent conversation without being, oh, poor me, poor me. Like, look what happened to me. How could this happen to me? You know? And then one day I just woke up and I realized, like, it's not no one's fault but my own. And then having to sit down and look at myself in the mirror and just, I did cry, whatever. But I knew I wanted to fight for my sobriety. So at the end of my time being in rehab out in California, I met this incredible woman. Her name is Sunday. Some of you guys may know her. She was just kind of like that magnet, like when you're in a room full of people and then that one person is just drawn close to you and you're like you're just standing there looking at each other smiling. Like, I was like, what's she gonna say? Like, is she gonna like roast me? Or like she's giving me like that look. And she just opened up her arms. She was like this. It's just like, it is so nice to meet you. And I was like, it's nice to meet you too. I don't know who you are, but hi. I'm Farah. I'm Farah. Hi, Farah. Where are you from, Farah? I was like, I'm from Gary, Oklahoma, She's like, well, you're a long ways from home, And she happened to be a Hawaiian native. I've never met, I always just thought, oh, well, there's like Alaska natives and there's Oklahoma natives, but really there's all kinds of natives.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of people in the world. But she introduced me to Wellbriety, and she taught that class in my rehab that I was in. And then I ended up graduating like, I want to say like 3 weeks later. So I didn't get to like dwell in there, but she did. She took us to Sweat out in the Saboba Mountains. I don't even know where that is in California. It was in the middle of nowhere, but it was great. It was
pretty out there.
It was very pretty. I met a lot of good people out there who I'm still friends with today. If you're on Facebook, hello. I'm doing well. I'm still sober. I'm still doing AA. I have a sponsor today. I have a close knit of support people around me. My family supports me. I don't get to see them often. Hi, Mom. I'm glad you're well. And it just feels good to allow my friends and family to see this version of me today, and that I'm still doing good and working hard to be where I want to be in my recovery.
Yeah.
And again, it goes along the lines with breaking those generational curses, because I've been told so many times, Farah, why do you do this? Farah, why are you doing that? Farah, come do this. Farah, do that. And a lot of the times I had to utilize that word no. And it was hard, because in my addiction, I picked up this really bad habit of being a people pleaser. And I wouldn't be able to identify that until I was sat down with my step work in AA with a sponsor who was walking me through these steps. And need I mind you, Wellbriety is a whole different program from AA, but it's so similar. I love both of them, and I'm in both worlds because it helps my recovery and my sobriety. And it also helps me to stay mentally well equipped to do what I want to do today. And what that looks like is me being sat down and told by someone else, Farah, you are not right. You are wrong. You are wrong. But it's in a loving manner, like, I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm going to tell you why you're wrong. You're wrong because you didn't look at the whole big picture and how this will affect you tomorrow. Like, yeah, you could get mad and go say how you feel. Yeah, you can go cry about it, but are you going to be able to pick yourself up? You going to be able to lead? And I'm like, yeah. Because sometimes it is necessary to stop and breathe and give somebody a hug or just listen.
Yes.
I struggled with listening. I'm a talker, you know. Like you ask me, I'm gonna talk your ear off sometimes, but it took me a long time and to learn how to just be quiet. Like right now, just be quiet and listen to the rain. Listen to what it's trying to tell you. It might be speaking volumes, you know. We'll never know unless we stop and listen. And that's how it was in my addiction. I never stopped to listen. I never stopped to appreciate Mother Nature. I never stopped to appreciate God's creation and what He has placed all around us. And, you know, we're not going to make one person is not going to make a difference. It's going to take all of us. And with me and my addiction, it took my whole family and a whole nother support group in a whole different state to pick me back up and bring me back to life and help me see what I'm capable of, my potential, what my purpose was, who was waiting for me back at home. You know, I have children. My kids were waiting for their mom to straighten up and sober up and be there. And that's not even asking a lot. But in my head, you know, I'm running around thinking, oh, I'm missing out. I'm missing out. I got to be here. I got to be there. I got to go have fun, you know, and I totally put them kids not first. And it was not a good feeling. It was not a good feeling for me. And all I can do today is make things better for myself by being sober and fighting for the things that I want in my life and being able to say, yes, this is what it looks like, breaking those generational chains. You know, I can't keep thinking that my way of lifestyle was okay because it was not.
Mhm.
And yeah, I'm just very grateful to be here today, be a part of this.
You are inspirational for sure. Like your whole story, you know, and the way you can tell the way that you what you put into it, you know, you receive in blessings what you put into it. And I think that that's the cool thing about sobriety.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see these comments.
Can we scroll up?
Yeah.
There's a lot of you online.
Mm-hmm.
Lunchtime?
A lot of people are
Hey,
tuning
Rory.
in today.
Yeah. We're going to keep it trudging.
Mm-hmm.
Chad Riley, my buddy. Trudging. Oh, I want to shout out my coworkers. Allison, Creighton Hammers, and Dro. They're holding the fort down back at work. I told them, I'll be back. They said, where are you going, Farah? I said, you guys can tune in. I'll show you.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you guys a shout out.
You gotta find me online.
Yeah, I'm in there somewhere.
That's cool. That's cool that they hopefully they're watching, you know, or they get to go back and watch and see.
Oh, Kelly. Yeah, Kelly. Kelly Dunn. He's from Watonga. Hey, cuz. Phyllis. Yeah. Hi, Doe. Thank you, Doe. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. So I think I'm coming up. My 3 years of sobriety will come up in November. So hopefully I get my chip and
Wow.
yeah, hopefully I make it
Mm-hmm.
because people get it confused with like AA and Wellbriety. They don't understand. Some people, I'm not saying everybody, some people don't understand we can only be sober for today.
Yes.
We have to get back up, meditate, pray, reach out to your people if you're struggling, because it is so easy. It is so easy today to go back out, you know, drink or do drugs. And unfortunately, those drugs today, they're not nothing to play with,
Mm-mm.
you know, and it's just,
It's a dangerous game.
yeah, I get emotional just thinking about it. It's something we need to be talking about today. It's a must. And if I have to be the only one talking about it, then so be it, you know.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm just really grateful to be here and that I made it. It's raining out there.
I'm glad you're here too.
Mm-hmm.
Proud of you, sister, and all your hard work. Proud of you both. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
Well, are you going to make it for the women's meeting tonight? Think
Yes,
you'll make it back?
of course.
Cool.
You guys are like 15 minutes from my house.
Oh, nice. That's
So
not too bad.
Yeah, our place is right over there in Bethany, Oklahoma. Shout out Bethany, the city of Bethany. It's like, it's crazy how many sections the city has to it. I'm just be like, where am I at? I have to look on my Google Maps. But yeah, you guys aren't that far from us. Here, I thought it was because I'm like, El Reno's way over there. You know, I
Mhm.
can't make it. Then I got on my Google Maps and started timing. I usually time myself how long it takes me to get home and how long I mess around in Walmart or at the store. Because I'm like always telling my baby, hurry up, we're on a schedule, hurry up, we gotta stick to routine. Mom. Then she's at this age where she's like, will you just hold me? And I'm like hold you or hug you? And she's like, pick me up. And I'm like, I can't. She's at that age where she's like unpickable up or whatever. I cannot pick her up.
I know what you mean. Like when Josie falls asleep in the car, I hate to do this, but I'm like, hey, hey, come on. Like you're going to have to walk in, you know? And I can remember having, 2 bags and my cup and just all these things and then grabbing her on top of that. But man,
Yeah.
they're growing taller too. Like,
Man, I know.
yes.
She's like, it's crazy watching your kids grow, you know. Just always know they're watching you.
Mhm.
They're watching and learning everything from you. All I can say, and my best advice is guide them, you know, do good in front of them. Let them see you do good to others. That is so
Yes.
important. I heard you talk earlier about friendships. Your daughter and friendships. That's something me and my daughter talk about all the time, you know. I try to teach her what a friend looks like.
Mhm.
You know, your friends are supposed to be good to you, make you feel good, make you feel loved, like family, you know.
Yes.
Mom, I was like, and you just got to understand not everyone's going to be your friend, but you don't have to be mean to them or treat them no different, you know.
Mhm.
But yeah, with that meditation today, I really liked that. That was very deep. You know, I don't think we talk about generational chains enough, being broken and what that looks like. Um, I think it would help if a lot of people, you know, brought that to light and kind of discussed what they do, you know.
Mhm.
I think that would help. I guess this is like a stepping stone towards that, right?
Yeah. That's kind of what we do, and after generational trauma, what we try to bring is generational healing and
Yeah.
so getting back to the good stuff.
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, we will have our women's meeting tonight at 1950 South Shepherd at 6 o'clock. We will have coffee, and I think I'm going to get some cookies for tonight, some dessert. So, let's see. Do we want to talk about some of our announcements?
Go ahead. You can. I'll let you.
Let's see if I can.
It was just on it.
Was I?
Yeah. Media assets
Oh,
right there. And then click on these.
goodness. Oh, okay. Up. Okay, yeah.
Yep. There you go.
So we have Talkspace for ages 13 and up. You just scan the QR code or use your browser, and the code is RESTORE. It includes 2 30-minute sessions with a licensed therapist. So, therapy is expensive, and getting in with someone and, finding someone to go see in person can be hard. So I think that this is a great resource for all people. To stay up to date on what we're doing here and the Gord Clan, text TOR, T-O-R, to 888-580-4TOR. Our Wellbriety meetings, we have Mending Mondays here at 1950 South Shepherd at 7 o'clock. On Wednesdays, we will have our women's group, which I just talked about. And on Thursdays, we have a regular, just well-variety talking circle facilitated by Dave. He runs a great meeting. There's so much support and healing that goes on and connection. So we have that here at 1950 at 7 p.m. And while that's going on, I have a youth empowerment talking circle, a separate place for the youth to come and talk about things, that they may have dealt with in their parents' addiction, or just, their daily life. And with that, I really try to just be a safe space for them. Like, if nothing else, I can just be a safe space, listen, and support them. So I'm very blessed to have that opportunity. And then Fridays we have a 12-step meeting here at 1950 at 7 p.m. where we get more in depth with the steps, and put pen to paper. So yeah. The All Nations Recovery Gourd Clan is looking for a junior princess. So if you know someone or want to recommend someone, send them our way. And we do have some recovery housing assistance for tribal members, I believe. And it is only OCAR certified housing. And I believe they'll cover up to 2 months
2 months, yeah.
of rent. So yeah, those are some resources that we provide to, help with healing. And
I believe hers is OCAR certified.
Yes,
Branch
branch
15.
15 is
Branch
OCAR
15.
certified. Again, if you guys know of any moms with children who are, fighting to get them back, get custody back, our program supports that. It is a faith-based program. Again, if you know a mom in need, please, you can reach out on their website. It's branch 15.
Okay.
It's on Facebook, but if you can't find it, you can always look me up and reach out to me if you need help or assistance. I can help you with that or point you in the right direction. Again, I graduate from that program in September of this year, September 2025. So I have been there. In June will be 2 years, but my graduation will be like, I don't know, 28 months.
wow.
So it's been a learning experience for me, and that's what it looked like for me to break my generational curse and find stability, get routine, stay on schedule, and hold myself accountable.
How long was the program there?
It's supposed to be 24 months, but if you're a mom and you're in need and you don't have nowhere to go after that, or you don't have a backup plan, they do allow you to stay there. So it's not easy. Along with everything else, it is hard. It's challenging. But if you can overcome your addictions and things, with God, anything is possible.
Yeah. And you can overcome these small, hurdles that you have to jump over too. You got to get uncomfortable before you can get comfortable.
Mhm.
And that's just how it is, But I'm so grateful that they have resources like that for moms. And I think about us having something similar or, like that closer here to El Reno. El Reno is my hometown.
Yeah.
And we don't even have women sober living here,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about too. Like the tribe should truly invest, because there are a lot of Native American women that I've met who need the support and the we talk about our men getting sober a lot, but our women, they are struggling. And I try my best to look at my own light and try to utilize my tools best I can, but I'll just be honest with you, we're not going to be able to save everybody.
Right.
I want to make a difference, and I want to be able to do something to help. But again, what that looks like for me today is just staying sober and being able to show up.
Yeah.
Be there.
Well, you showed up today, and I'm really grateful. So thank you for being here with us.
Yes.
It was a good talk on our culture couch for Women's Wednesday. So I challenge you to stay sober just for today. Love yourself and tell someone else that you love them, and be kind.
Amen. Yes.
Thank you all for tuning in.
Whoops. Oh, we both clicked it.